Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, thanks.
Good.
It's nice to meet you.
And you?
I'm Dr. Nicola, and I'll be carrying out your skin assessment today.
Okay, lovely.
Okay. Now, before we actually get into the exam, I just want to ask you a couple of questions. Is that all right?
Yeah, of course.
Great. So, can I just get you to confirm your name?
Jodie.
Thank you. And your date of birth?
9th of the 12th.
Yeah.
1989.
Thank you. Right, first of all, I want to say, have you had one of these done before?
I have, but it's been about a good 12 months.
Okay. Okay, that's fine. Now, do you have any current concerns with your skin on your face?
It tends to be quite dry on my nose and cheeks.
Yeah.
I'm quite oily on my chin and forehead.
And T-zone oily. Okay. So, are you wanting to find something to help balance out your skin so it's not T-zone, not oily, not too dry on the cheeks?
Yeah, I'd like that, please.
Okay. Now, do you use any skincare at the moment?
Yeah, I've got a very basic skincare routine because I get worried because of how sensitive my skin is. I don't like the dryness to get any worse or the oiliness, so I have to be careful what I use.
Yeah.
So yeah, general just face wash and moisturiser.
Okay. It's quite basic routine. Wash and a moisturiser.
Yeah, toners tend to really dry out my skin.
Okay, yeah. So toners. And do you exfoliate at all?
On occasion, yeah, but only once a month because again, it brings out spots and dryness.
So when you say your skin is sensitive, do you go red, inflamed, or do you just come out in breakouts?
Breakouts and sometimes red.
Okay, makes sense.
And the dryness gets worse.
Yeah, okay. Right, so that brings me on to any allergies. Do you have any allergies at all?
Apart from hay fever, not that I know to.
Okay. And how's your hay fever today? Is it not too bad?
Yeah, not too bad today.
Okay. Now, have you ever had acne?
I have suffered with it when I was younger.
So,
not a lot of it, but I had quite a few on my chin.
so quite hormonal, probably.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, have you had any facial treatments at all?
It's probably been about 12 months.
Is that just a basic facial cleanse, tone, moisturise, etc.?
Yep.
Okay. Now, do you drink a lot of water?
Yeah.
Okay, so you say you're getting enough throughout the day?
Yeah.
So you're very good like that?
Because that's all I really drink is water. I don't drink squash or...
Okay, that's really good.
Yeah.
So you don't really have caffeine or anything like that?
Very rarely. I do enjoy a coffee, but it's literally only when I go out.
Yeah, that's good. Do you drink any alcohol at all?
Again, rarely.
So rarely drink. Okay, and what about any cigarettes or anything like that?
No, I don't smoke.
Okay, that's good. Right, now do you have any special dietary requirements?
So I am vegan, so I don't eat meat or consume dairy products.
So no dairy products or anything at all?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, do you take any supplements?
Yeah, because I exercise a lot. I do take iron and B12.
Okay, exercise, B12 and iron. And other than that, do you take any other medication?
Apart from a contraceptive pill, no.
And are you alright with that? Do you find that you get any breakouts with that? Or
It's helped actually.
oh, it has? Okay,
Yeah.
that's really good. So it helps. Okay, that's interesting. So it's obviously balanced your hormones out and it's not flaring. Yeah, that's really good. Great. Now, is there anything else I should be made aware of?
Not that I know to.
Okay, perfect. Now, if you do think of anything whilst I'm examining, please just ask or tell me. That's perfectly fine, okay?
Yeah.
Right, so that's good. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pop some gloves on for the exam, okay? Right, let's get these on. If you wouldn't mind popping on this headband for me, just so I can get your hair off your face, thank you. Yeah, that's perfectly fine, thank you. Right, so what I'm going to do first is literally just have a look. Okay, now do you have anything on your face today?
I've got mascara and a bit of eyebrow makeup,
okay,
and lip gloss, but nothing on my
else.
actual face.
Okay, that's fine. And have you put any skincare on today?
Wash my face and moisturise.
Okay, that's good. Now, I'm literally just going to feel your face first. Just see if I can feel any lumps or bumps. Okay, so it feels okay. Start looking at your forehead first. That feel okay? Okay, I'm just going to look at your nose area now. A little bit of a breakout there. But as I said, if you do get an oily T-zone, that's obviously quite common. Now, looking at your nose, it does appear quite dry here, and it appears to look tight, if that makes sense. Does it ever feel quite tight in that area?
Sometimes, yeah.
Okay. Now, it looks dry, but not as in peeling skin, flaky skin or anything like that. Do you ever get any peeling or dry patch? You do, yeah. Okay. And when I scrunch like that, you can see loads of little lines, which shows to me as well that your nose is quite dehydrated. And that can be causing these little lines here. Okay. And you do have pigmentation, but not a great deal. Okay, it's a little bit red, and especially now I've been touching, it has gone quite red. Do you find you get that a lot? Yeah, and do you burn easily in the sun?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it known as rosacea?
Rosacea, yeah. obviously when we are touching anyway, we are prone to get erythema, which is reddening of the skin. But some people with rosacea have always got like red patches, and sometimes it looks lumpy. But just shows that your skin's probably quite sensitive.
Which it is.
You do have a couple of broken capillaries, which are like your thread veins. Not so many on this one, but
you know that was a contraception that caused that.
really,
Yeah.
no way.
Yeah, you know the injection. I had the injection when I was like 21, and it caused lots of little veins all over my body.
That's so
Like
weird.
lots in my face, my nose, and all over my legs. They've disappeared a bit since I've not had it, but the ones on my face stayed.
Yeah, they're not excessive.
Yeah, just
but if I'm
bits.
really looking, obviously I can see.
Mm.
So I'm wondering over time, as that's kind of gone out your system, and then now you're on your obviously new medication, maybe that's balancing it a little bit more as well. So
Interesting though.
okay. Now there's a couple enlarged pores, but nothing too excessive, which is really good. So you don't really have a lot of blackheads. You do have a few, especially around here, and they're probably quite embedded in, but nothing too excessive. Got quite an enlarged pore there, but the good thing is there's nothing in it, which is good. Now I'm going to look at this side and just feel. Okay. And this side. Okay, I'm just going. So they come down slightly there, but the top lip looks quite smooth. A little bit of breakouts on the chin area. Going a little bit red. A little bit bumpy, that's quite hormonal related. A couple of pigmentation there. Tie that back. Okay. Yeah, a couple of blackheads here, which is quite common in obviously the T-zone, and because you have got breakouts there, the chance of you having blackheads in that area is obviously quite high. They're not like, you don't look at you and think, oh my goodness, but I can see them while I'm examining. A little large pore there. Okay. Relax a little bit. Okay, and if you can turn that way. Now when I'm going like that, I can see the dehydration lines. They get more prominent as I push. I've got a bounce, which is good in the skin, but I can really feel where it's quite tight and it's struggling to give me that smooth bounce. Okay, so you said you notice the oiliness. When in the day do you get it?
So, with me, it's hard to find a balance between it being dry and overly moisturised and oily. So, when it's dry, I'll moisturise, but then it gets oily. And at the same time, I get sometimes like flakiness, even though it's oily.
Yeah. So, when you have combination skin, it is quite difficult to try and find products that suit. And it's always best to treat the main issue. So the thing is, when we use moisturisers, if you're using an oil-based moisturiser, you're going to look oily if you're prone to oily skin. So try to avoid an oil base. And also if you use like silicone base, again, you can appear oily with that. So try to avoid anything like that. But if you are getting oily from moisturisers, well, you may be using too much. Or if you're getting oily, it's because you're using the wrong type of moisturiser. That's usually what I find. Obviously, if it's warm out and your skin's going to be hot, then you might look oily because of that. But yeah, it's about finding the right balance of skincare, really. But if you're having something and it's drying your skin out too much, then you're going to get dry patches, and then it's going to be worse. So possibly look at a range that is specifically for dry skin, but then make sure you're using not a heavy moisturiser, because some of them are really heavy, especially nighttime creams. So my advice would be to don't put anything too heavy on your face.
Okay.
If that makes sense. Yeah. Because obviously we need to get the moisture back in to stop it from being so dry, but obviously we don't want to be overloading it too much and then making you look oily, because
spotty,
and that gets spotty then. So a bit of pigmentation dotted around. Okay, you can just turn that way for me. So is this like a mole or a freckle?
I think it's a mole.
It's not raised, which is good. We should always make sure that we are checking any moles and freckles or pigmentation patches if they get any bigger or anything like that.
Okay.
Some lines around the eyes, but if you are quite dry, you're going to be prone to that, because you'll find that people, if they have oilier skin, they're less likely to get wrinkles. So do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If that makes sense. I'm just going to get my light and just have a look. Yes, you don't really have many blackheads at all. It's really just here on this side. Which is good. Okay.
Some good news at least.
Yeah. I'm going to bring in my purple light.
It's going to show how much sun damage I've got.
Yeah. Yeah, you can definitely see underneath. And obviously the freckles that you can't see, I can see with this light. Oops, sorry. and all the patches like there. So you seem to catch the sun here. This is where it's mainly going, and on your nose. You can see little bits of dead skin on here. And you said you only exfoliate once a month. So like here I can see blackheads underneath the skin, which potentially look like they could form into an actual spot. Okay. Now, you said you only exfoliate once a month. I would recommend that you do it once a week. But don't use something abrasive. It can't be rough, because if you're doing that, you're going to dry your skin out, you're going to cut your skin, and it's not going to be a pleasant experience. So my advice would be use something more like a paste maybe, or like a soft jelly kind of exfoliator, whichever you can find to suit the products that you can and can't use. You look into them, but something like that, and make sure you're using it once a month. No, I mean once a week. Also, my advice is, after you've used an exfoliator, to pop on a mask. Now, there are so many different sheet masks out there, and that are perfectly okay to use. And then you just pop the sheet mask on. So what that will do, that will really put the moisture into your pores, and then it will help hydrate your skin, help with it. If you get a brightening one, it will help with pigmentation as well. And then I know you said you can't really use a toner, so if you can't find the right toner for your skin, then just splash your face with cold water, and that's going to help close your pores. So we exfoliate to remove all the dead skin, then we pop in the moisture so it's all nice, and then we block it so we don't get any blackheads or anything like that. You need to be quite consistent with it though, and try to do that every week. And that's really going to help them. But look for some sheet masks that are good for moisture, hydration and brightening. Those are the ones that you need to be looking at. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Alright, I'm just going to gently tap your face. Okay, it won't hurt. Does that feel okay?
Cold.
Yeah. I'm just watching how the skin bounces back. Okay. So the areas where we are quite dry, it's slower at bouncing back. You can see it. I'm just going to use the bigger end. And obviously if we're dry, that can make our skin look dull. Yeah, okay. Now I'm going to pop some air on your face. Okay. Is that alright? Just watching your skin as it moves. You can definitely see the drier areas are definitely here. And I'm just going to look under your eyes. Can you look up for me? Okay, close. Thank you. So under your eye, I mean, it's great. You don't really have any dark circles, which is really good. And you don't have any bags or anything like that. Your eye area looks quite fresh. but it's very tight here, I can see, and obviously that's going to be pushing here and causing these fine lines. Do you use an eye cream? You've got to use an eye cream. If you don't want to use a cream, use a serum. Okay, like a hydrating serum or something like that. And always go out, tap, or circles out. Now, some creams can be quite heavy, so it's finding the right one for you. A nice thin cream. If it's nice and cold, that would be nice as well. And it's really good for circulation. My advice would be to use an eye cream, but that's personal preference. That's really going to help hydrate all this area here, because as you put on the cream, you're going to be going like this. So literally, if you concentrate on this section with a serum, a cream, a gel, something like that.
Those like gel patches, they work.
Yeah, if you've got, you can get eye patches. Now, I use them all the time. They're really good for hydrating, and some depuff and different things like that. Some help with dark circles. You can use those as often as you like. Me, I always have them on if I'm doing makeup, and once, if I exfoliate, use an eye patches and a full mask as well. So do whatever works for you, but that's great. And you'll see that if you, especially when you put a mask on, if it goes warm and it's quite dry, you know your face is lacking moisture. But then I always recommend for people to have an eye cream, and especially if you are getting dry here, because I can see the dryness. So if you get yourself an eye cream, have a Google around, see what's appropriate, different things like that. Personally, I would probably say nothing too heavy to start with. A nice serum based one, a gel based one, or something quite water based is what I think you should be doing. Okay. I mean, it all depends on how much you want to go into what you use at the end of the day. Sometimes, yeah, people saying I'm basic because I fear this is going to happen, but then sometimes the basic is not helping, if you know what I mean. So just try to have a look round at what you feel like. Now, can you smile for me? Okay, can you frown? Okay, and just, can you puff your cheeks a little bit? Relax. Okay, I'm just going to just take measure. Now I'm just going to gently squeeze areas of your face. Does that feel okay? Sorry. Didn't hurt, did it? Just turn that way. Yeah, your skin's quite tight. I'm just going to take a couple of samples, my love. Okay? just make sure we're going upwards. Up, like so. And circle motions. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, do you have any questions?
No, I think I'm okay. You've
So,
been very thorough, thank you very much.
you're welcome. So what I suggest is possibly coming in for a facial treatment, working on hydration, we can get rid of any blackheads and anything like that.
Okay.
And I would say definitely look at your home skincare routine.
Yeah.
And just keep up with what you're doing and just make sure you wear SPF.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I will do a full report and I will send it over to you.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. So if you do want to book any appointments, if you see my receptionist, she'll be able to help that out for you.
I will do. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.